here's a couple things to note. When you are editing on your tablet, you can go to any other application that you have on your tablet. So for example, and then I'm going to show you that we added this to the desktop tool too. So let's say I want to take some of these pictures from my trip to China, and I want to hand this off to use in another editing tool. Well, it's super simple. You just tap the share button. Mylio, if it can, if you've got other devices online, will automatically go and fetch the original full quality photo. So in this case, it's downloading a giant super high res photo from my Sony collection, and it's pulling it down to the local device. Now, depending upon network speeds and everything else, this is take a little bit, but not bad. And if you don't have a network connection, it will skip that step. Then once that's done, you have the ability to hand off to another tool. And those edits will open up in that other tool. Now, this is, of course, the end of the demo, which is when nothing goes right, because it's called the end of the demo. That's okay. I'm going to see if I have my drive off in a moment. But if you're offline, it'll also work with the Smart Preview. So when I share here, I think what's happening, oh, I see what's going on. I'm already doing a sync. So I've got a whole bunch of pictures going to this device already. So it's in that queue. But let's say I'm offline. Share. It will use the one I have. And now I can go over to the More list and choose from any application. Angela mentioned pasting into WordPress. I can go right to Instagram. I could choose another mobile app. Maybe I want to open this up, and you see any one of these becomes available. And with just a tap, for example, it's going to hand that off to Photoshop Express. And now I can work on Photoshop Express with that picture, and it brings it in, and I could use their more advanced tools like a healing brush or make a change or anything else. And so that's all great. And then when you're all done, watch this. Tap the share button again. You could take a look at what's there, or you could use the save button. But again, I could say more, and I could just go right back to Mylio. Boom. Now I'll close it. And if I switch to Mylio, it is going to be inside of my Mylio Photos inbox on my device. So you can go back and forth to other applications that easy on your phone or tablet using any other ones that you want. Now, I'm not currently connected to the network. And again, we're working completely offline with no internet connection. It didn't have to go anywhere. It still shared it back and forth. So you could take any one of your pictures, find a picture that you want to use, select it, tap the share button, and go to any other app that you have on your phone or tablet. And if you're connected to the internet, it'll work. I can also tap open in, and that's going to give me choices there. And I'll say, this time let's go to darkroom. And again, it will open it up, and I could use their editing tools if there's something in there that I like, which is cool. Now, how about on the desktop? Well, this is one of the biggest things that we changed, and it is really quite cool for those of you that have other photo software. You get the ability to choose any picture that you want to work with, right? You could find it, pick a picture that you want to use, and you just see it. And as you look here, you can see what it is, right? So here, I can select different types of pictures. I can see what I'm working with. All I have to do now is go to the photo menu, and I can open with. So we've added this ability for you to open things up. So let's say I want to hand off a bunch of images here and open them together. So one thing that some people do, like I like to do, is HDR photography, where I could shoot multiple pictures at once. You could select those and then say from the photo menu that you want to open with. And we will look at your system and see what you have listed that can work with that. And so that lets you choose where you go. And so I'm going to open with Aurora HDR, which is a program I actually used to manage. I helped run this program for a while. I love HDR photography. And when I choose this, it's going to launch that program and add these pictures into it for the HDR merge. Or I could choose other things from the open with. And so what Mylio will do is seamlessly hand those off to other tools. So there it is. It says, oh, cool. There's all those HDR brackets. I shot underexposed. I shot overexposed. I'll click a button and it merges all those exposures together. It thinks, it combines, it takes the darkest shadows, the brightest highlights, and every little bit of detail and stitches them into a super exposure that can actually see more than the human eye. Now, opening and merging 9 pictures does take a little bit of time. That's why it's saying final touches to make it awesome. It's okay. But look at how I was able to pull all of those exposures together into one super exposure, right? And now I could adjust it and tweak it and recover all those details. And then I will just export that image right back. And all you have to do is put it in the folder where it came from. Now, some tools make this really easy. Other tools make it harder. So if it's hard to find, what I suggest you do is on your main hard drive, make a folder called Inbox. And you could add that empty folder into Mylio. And so I just add that folder called Inbox on my main hard drive into Mylio. So now I'm going to save that. I'll go with a nice high quality file, a TIFF, because I want to make a print out of this, and click Save. And it exports the file. Okay. It's processing, it's thinking. Now I can quit. And if I go back to Mylio and I just go to my Inbox folder, I'm just going to go all the way up to the top folder level here. And I have an inbox. What it's going to do now is it will scan, and within about 20 seconds, the picture is going to pop up in here. So you can see that it's scanning my library right now, and it's starting to import and ingest. And so it will actually go and sync the device. So right now it's scanning another folder, but Mylio keeps going through your system in scans. And if you want to force that to happen, you could manually override it, or you could just be patient and keep editing. But effectively, what's going to happen here is that over time, it will do that. Now, I'm purposely going to quit here for a second, because I want to show you another way that you can force something to scan is you just literally quit the application. And then when it launches, that's when it's going to do the scan. So I'm just going to quit and relaunch it. And when Mylio launches, it will rescan the folders. And again, you'll see that it's starting to scan the library. And as it scans, it's going to pop up. So Dion mentioned earlier that our scanning is now 6 times faster. But again, I'm one of those crazy people with 500,000 pictures and spread out over 6 devices. So I have to go, okay, computer, go find it. But it will find it, and then it will bring it in and add it into this. And so you will end up with all those new images right there in your library. Now, Angela, you're going to show our integration next with Aaron into Lightroom. And I know that that will pop back up, and we'll see it here in a moment. But folks, this photo edit with is really cool. And there's all sorts of things in there that you can do. And you'll find that if it doesn't list the application that you want, all you need to do is select the picture. And once you've done that and you have the picture active, like for example, if I wanted to take this over to Lightroom to merge the panorama, under Open With at the bottom says Other. That lets you pick any application. And whatever tool you use last will appear here as a shortcut to make that simpler. So we're going to keep expanding this capability, but Mylio is designed to be great to work with other tools. And if you don't have the originals available, it will go and fetch them or let you work with the smart previews if that's what you have. And those smart previews contain raw data, so they work great.